Hey there, sister. Thanksgiving is over. You survived Black Friday. And maybe you have one of those relatives that tends to give you some well-meaning advice about how you look or your weight. So today, I just really want to give you some encouragement and help you out with some of these things that come up during the holidays, whether it's family or food or anything else that really can damage our self-image. Hey there, lovely. Welcome to the Radiantly Dressed podcast. Do you want to feel beautiful and confident and look put together in your clothes? Do you find yourself scrolling Pinterest looking for capsule wardrobes and outfit ideas? Do you walk into your closet hoping for an easy wardrobe solution only to feel frustrated and frumpy when nothing looks or feels like you want it to? Hey there, I'm Stacey. I'm a busy homeschooling mom juggling life, business, and struggling with autoimmune disease. Just like you, I felt overwhelmed and frustrated with my closet and wished I had an easy-to-put-together wardrobe that reflected who I am on the inside, the woman that God is constantly refining. But I just could not figure out how to have easy mornings and authentic style until I found the power of color analysis and capsule wardrobes. In this podcast, you'll find how to wear and use your best colors, a proven framework to create an easy closet full of clothes you love, and how to do it all in a way that honors who God created you to be so that frumpy fashion doesn't get in the way of your faith and mission. So put in your favorite earrings, swipe on some lipstick, and let's get dressed. What do you think about yourself when you look in the mirror? Do you think good thoughts? Do you think bad thoughts? Do you feel like you're frumpy and unattractive? Is your self-image struggling by what you see when you look in the mirror? If this is something that you deal with on a daily basis, just discontent with yourself and how you look and how you present yourself, then I would love to invite you to join the Radiant by Design membership. For less than a coffee, $7 a month, you can join our amazing membership group just for Christian women, focusing on self-image and personal style to help you begin to see yourself just like God does. Beautiful, wonderful, and fearfully made. To sign up, go to radiantbydesigncollective.com and join our wonderful community where you'll get lessons. It's a full course, guys. Lessons on how to see yourself as God does, plus tips on color and style and building your wardrobe. And we do monthly Q&A calls. So if you get stuck and you need help, we are here for you to answer your questions and help you move forward. I would love to see you on the inside, and I hope that you decide to join us. So let's talk about holiday season, right? Here in the US, we have just finished Thanksgiving. We are moving into the Christmas season. And I know for many people, this is a really busy time of year. There are a lot of activities that go into this. There are a lot of family events and food events and all of these different things that come together to make this just sort of a crazy season. And while I could definitely go on about remembering the reason for the season and not being overwhelmed, that is not really what I want to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about those things that go on that really impact our self-image during this time of year. I have this memory, and I've definitely shared this one before, of my grandmother, bless her soul, telling me one Thanksgiving, I believe it was, patting me on the hip and telling me that I should be careful what I eat because I'm getting kind of thick. And for somebody who yo-yoed their weight literally from the time I hit puberty up until, basically today still. So we're talking like 30 years, basically. I've always struggled with my weight a little bit. I've always had to really watch it and be careful. My grandmother was 4'11", and she was a very round, small woman. So, I got it from her and she was the one giving me the backhanded insult there. But I know that this something happens a lot in families. Often we have people that want to just remind us that maybe we're not looking our best or something. I don't even know if that's a thing, looking our best really, but that was the best way I could think of to say it in that moment. But some of us have family members that are like that. And my grandmother was one of those that constantly insulted people. She was constantly critical of things that people said or did or how they looked or what they ate. And for me, I usually just let it roll off my back because I understood her in a strange way where no one else did. But many people in my family would get very, very offended over the years. My mom would get offended. My cousin would get her feelings hurt. And so, this was just the way she was. And sometimes we have family members that are just that way. And it's hard to deal with because we may go into the holiday thinking that we look great. We love the outfit we chose. Our hair looks good. We're feeling good. And then something like this can really tear us down and make us feel bad about ourselves. And on top of that, there is a lot of food that comes around the holidays, which can be a trigger area for many of us. We maybe tend to overeat or prone to, treating ourselves badly because we want to eat and we can't, or we're not going to eat it. And just a lot of temptation around food, which again, for many of us is tied to our self-image. And so the first thing I want to leave you with today, if you're struggling with any of these things around the holidays, if you find that family or food or events or any of these things are starting to impact your self-image, how you see yourself as a creation of God, is to remember your identity. You are not a creature of the earth. You are not a woman of the world. You are set apart by a loving and compassionate God who sees you for who you are on the inside, and not who you are on the outside. And I would love to just leave you with that thought that what you look on the outside is not a reflection of the person that Christ is creating inside of you. Psalm 139:14 tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And it goes on to tell us that that is because we are marvelous because he created us. And I would love for you to hold on to that thought as well. And also in Ephesians 2:10, you are a masterpiece created in Christ Jesus. It's so easy for us to get caught up in the trappings of what we look like and our external presentation in the world and how the world views that and thinks about that and the expectations that are out there. But I just want to remind you that as a woman of God, you are not beholden to those thought processes. You are not stuck in what the world thinks about things, that you are a new creation in Christ. And along those lines, I would love to share with you the concept of creating your own affirmations and putting them on your mirror each day so that you can be reminded every day as you get up and you get dressed who you are in Christ, who you are becoming, who he is making you out to be. I used to do this with Post-it notes, so it's not like you have to get fancy. However, if you would love some really pretty affirmations, I do have a free affirmation printout PDF that I'm going to give to you. It's called the Mindset in the Mirror Affirmations Guide, and it's just a small PDF book teaching you how to make biblical affirmations to put on your mirror so you see them every day. It's got some templates and some printables so you can just grab and go, do it yourself. It's got some blank ones, so if you just want to fill it out. But my idea is for you to find 3 verses from the Bible that really speak over who you are, how you look, how you feel about yourselves, and put them on the mirror so that every day you see them and you are reminded that what you see in the mirror is not who you really are. Okay. And so you can get those at mindsetmirroraffirmations.com. I'll put the link below. This is a freebie I'm gifting you. If you do decide to do this and you're in the Facebook group, please take a picture and post it so we can see what yours look like and how you're using that this holiday season. The next thing I want to talk about here is being really compassionate with yourself during the holiday season and practicing good self-care. Now, when I talk about being compassionate to yourself, I'm really thinking about the way that we say things to ourselves and we think thoughts about ourselves that we would never say to another person, right? We wouldn't say them to our friend. We wouldn't say them to our family members. We just would not say these things to ourselves. For the rest of this year, you are not allowed to say mean things to yourself, either in your head or out loud or in the mirror. I forbid you from doing this because we are so mean to ourselves sometimes, and we shouldn't be, right? We should be kinder to ourselves as we would be to our closest friend, our mom, our sister, our daughters. We need to remember that we are a daughter of the King, and we do not deserve to hear those words about ourselves, even from ourselves. Self-care is a little bit different. I'm not talking about selfish care. I'm actually talking about just being really mindful of making good choices during the season, staying as healthy as you can, getting enough sleep, eating good foods, finding a balance between those delicious treats that we find all season long, and really just being mindful to make sure we're balancing that with, vegetables, fruit, healthy proteins and things of that nature, but also making sure that we're not just wearing ourselves down to the bone physically from an exhaustion standpoint, making sure that we're getting enough sleep, making sure that we're not overcommitting to too many activities, being really mindful and specific about what's worth our time and what's not worth our time. Also, not waiting until the last minute to do things like ordering presents or wrapping the presents or decorating the house, right? Just giving ourselves the time and the space and the clarity to be healthy and well managed this holiday season will help you a lot when it comes to how you feel about yourself. Because what I have found, and this is something I'll probably be talking about as my upcoming maternity leave comes, as I'm going to start just veering into topics that are related, but kind of off the wall sometimes. But I've found that being healthy, making healthy choices in my own life has such a great impact on how I view myself, my self-image, my self-esteem, because I know that it makes me feel capable. It makes me feel like I am in control of who I am, and I'm making good choices. And so I would just encourage you to, again, don't talk mean to yourself and take care of yourself this holiday season. And maybe you've heard these tips and my thoughts about holidays and family and self-image, and you're just like, Stacey, I'm so busy. I can't think about this right now. Again, I would love to have you in our membership. It is truly designed to help you first and foremost with how you see yourself, your self-image, your self-esteem, to help you build confidence in a biblical way, in the way that God sees you, in the way that He created you, completely authentically beautiful in His own perfect way, and to help you shed all those negative thoughts and toxic old habits that you have about who you are and how you're showing up and how you're presenting yourself. And yes, there's a ton of this stuff in there about self-image and confidence, but there's also great style stuff in there. There's stuff about creating color palettes and figuring out your personal style, and even information about how to build a capsule wardrobe. So it's a gem, truly, for $7 a month. It's definitely a lot of information. And I would love to have you in there if you're struggling and you're done struggling and you're ready to find answers and ready to release that old sense of self that's not serving you, because it's just not who you really are. Again, if you're intrigued, you can join us by going to radiantbydesigncollective.com. It is $7 a month. You can cancel at any time you want to. So there's really not much to lose by trying it out and seeing if it makes a big difference in your life, because I know that the women that are in there are feeling massive changes in who they are and how they see themselves. And that's really what I want for you.
Hey there, gorgeous. Before you go, if this episode inspired you and helped you to feel more confident, I'd love for you to leave me a written review on Apple Podcasts. Second, hop on over and join the free Facebook group at christianstylecommunity.com, where you'll find Jesus-loving women just like yourself learning about style and building a dream wardrobe. Get dressed, be radiant.